I've got to get this 300-pound package all the way up that driveway and up 12 more steps to my front door. Okay, so I wasn't able to get the screw out of that thing. So I just cut it off, and I'm just hoping it gives us enough clearance for the liner between that and this over here. All right, there's the tape job. Doesn't look the best, but this is a lot harder than it looks in everybody else's YouTube videos, especially if you're doing it by yourself. And this insulation blanket is pretty stiff. So I think what I would have done differently if I did this over again is I would have been better about holding down the liner down into the bottom of the blanket as I'm folding the blanket over, because when you have the adhesive on the side anyway, it's going to stick as you wrap it over. And so I probably would make sure to apply pressure from the bottom up to the edge as I'm folding it over, and that would have gotten me a tighter fit. Anyway, I'm not sure if it's gonna make much of a difference, but that's what I would have done differently. All right, so here's the socked liner. We just finished putting that mesh on it. That was very frustrating, by far probably the most frustrating and difficult part of the project so far. But anyway, yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing that with one person. I was trying it for a while by myself and then had my wife come help me, and even with two people, it was still hard to get on. But when we were finished, we had all these spots where it was bunched up in the middle, so we grabbed it at both ends and tried to pull it as tight as we could so that it doesn't get stuck in the chimney on the way down. Huh? Where's it getting stuck?
It's like between the two edges. It's a little bit tight.
It's tight?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna come down.
I didn't know if I could pull on it, so
Yeah. Yeah, just yank on it and wiggle it, and I'm gonna push from up there.
okay.
Okay, I'm pushing. Sweet. I'm going to be replacing that connector piece with this one. I think that'll give us another 3 or 4 inches, which should be good enough for what we have to do up at the chimney. But now what we'll have to do is disconnect that one, push this liner back up a little bit so we can make room for this one and install this, and then I'll go finish up top. One other thing to point out is I did have to take out another fire break back there to make room for this liner. My fireplace is pretty shallow, so I was hoping I wouldn't have to do that, but I did end up having to do that. So that was a little tricky, but just one of the things you have to, you discover as you go and have to work through it. All right, so we got that other connector in there, and I think that gave us the extra length that we needed up top. Okay, so here's what happened last time is I measured it correctly, but then I wasn't thinking, and I cut it off level with this. So I had to buy that extra connector for down at the bottom where the stove goes to give us a few extra inches up here. So in the meantime, I had this just sitting in there upside down so it could reach enough of that to hold onto it. And I wasn't sure how long it would have to be there, so I had these corners bent over. I had it siliconed. So now we've gained our few extra inches, and I'm just gonna put this on here like this, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to film it because I need both my hands, but that's the plan. I'll put this here, I'll put that on top of it, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. All right, so here's my mostly finished termination up here. I've got this cap on, I've got the top plate on. Last thing I need to do is bring the silicone back up and get a bead of that under this edge. I wasn't able to get any screws in here or any pilot holes drilled because it was just destroying the clay tile there. So I am just going to silicone this, and I think because it's clamped down to the liner in there, that the weight of that liner should hold it down and give us a good seal around the edge, and I think we can call it good. All right, we tested everything out and were able to get a fire started. Things are looking good. Let's see, a couple of last things that I did here and a few things that I still need to do. I did hook up the blower with some SO cord that was already wired into the side of the fireplace for the gas logs that were in there before. So I've got that plugged in right there. And then since my fireplace opening is a little bit bigger than the surround, I just need to come up with a custom piece to put up there because I wanted kind of a flush mount look, but we're happy with it so far.
It's just a new fireplace.